Welcome to the SuperCharged video show, where I interview interesting and inspiring people right inside the Tesla. All right, we're going to get some good views of Chicago. I love it. All right, so I have in the car this morning Carol Miller.
Hello.
Hello, Carol. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. So tell us who you are and what you do and why you do it.
All right. I'm Carol. My nickname's also Cece.
Yes.
I help people see the positives in their life and in the world through coaching and then the nonprofit I started called Positive Focus.
Yes.
And why I do it is really because life is so magical if you choose to focus on what's going well, and it just opens up a whole new world. So I like helping people see that in their own lives.
Yes, and I've seen you do that for many years.
Yeah.
many years. And one of the things that you do is kind of interesting, and you've been doing it for a long time. Tell us about that.
The free hugs, is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about? Free Hugs was actually started by a man in Australia, and it was one of the most watched YouTube videos for many years.
Right.
And I had seen it so many times, and I always loved it, and it just seemed aligned with what I do with Positive Focus.
Yeah.
So we started doing it in 2008, and I was scared to do it. Like, are people going to look at me like I'm crazy?
Right.
And the first time I did it was in January at Navy Pier in Chicago, so it was snowing. It wasn't exactly the smartest planning on my part.
Hey.
But there were enough people who came, and it was a lot of fun. But more than just fun, I did not realize the power of that connection with people. Like, you forget, like, I live alone, but
Right.
the work I do, I see so many people. But so many people, like, they would say, I haven't had a hug in weeks. And, it's been, I really enjoy the people who run across the street yelling, free hugs. But probably even more are the people who come up, either they have tears in their eyes. Like, I have had a older woman, elderly, who had said that she had just lost her husband 2 weeks ago and missed his hugs.
Yeah.
So I've, cried with people, I've celebrated with people, but it's just, it's a way for me to show people that they matter, because I think people want to be seen and want to be heard, so we're there seeing them.
No, that's fantastic. And you've really, grown that thing. Tell us just a little bit about that.
So I'm one of those people who dive in and figure it out as I go.
Yeah.
There's some people who like to research and plan ahead. And so I just saw such great impact on the few free hug events that we did in Chicago that I thought, why not do it globally?
Right.
So in the fall of 2008, I just started emailing anybody that I could come across, saying, I'm going to do it this weekend, join me, send pictures, and I'll make a video of it. And I would email famous people, I would email, organizations, and it's truly one of the events that has helped me see that there is always a possibility if you have passion for it. I had seen Archbishop Desmond Tutu speak that summer, and here he's a high-ranking official, in the Christian religion, and I emailed info@tutu.com thinking, I can't tell you how many infos I have emailed for my events.
Sure.
But his assistant, a few weeks later, emailed me and said that he wanted to participate. And I was so excited.
Oh my God.
And then weeks went by, and it was getting close to the event. I'm like, he just said he would. He's not gonna. His schedule's busy.
Right.
And I'm not gonna remind him. And so, probably 3 or 4 days before the event, I get another email from her. And it's attached to a church in Florida. And his assistant says that the Archbishop has agreed to do this event for Carol. Can you please make a free hug sign and take some pictures and send them? Because he was speaking at their church that day.
Right.
And so they sent them, they did the video, or they took the pictures and sent them to me. And he participated twice for me before he officially retired, even though he's still doing a lot of the work that he does in the world. So
wow.
He is
Cool.
definitely an inspiration for me.
Yeah. Wow, what a great story. So now, one of the things I'm doing on this trip is talking to inspirational people like you. So, the common question is, hey, what's your inspiration? Well, let's take it a step further. What actually gives you like the goosebumps or the chills?
Oh my. I would say the goosebumps for me are when anybody, I always tell people, I am not here, my job is to not make you positive. You know, if people want to see the world as a bad, scary place, that's their business. But my goosebumps comes from people who are open to the possibilities of better, or that. And so when they have that aha moment from just a few things I might have said to them or worked with them on, that's what inspires me. And to really show people that there's so much good going on in the world. You know, the news may focus on the, and I'm not a statistician, so I'm probably even high number, but out of 7 billion people, maybe 1% of those 7 billion are doing bad things. It's probably much lower than that.
Sure.
But that's what the news focuses on.
Oh, yeah. If you just listen to the news, you might as well just forget it. I mean,
but even in those bad situations, good comes out of it.
Yeah.
You know, neighbors come together and support each other through tragedy. We learn to build better buildings from an earthquake or a natural storm. I mean, so there's always, even in that tragedy, something good arises from it. So my job is to remind people of that.
There you go. And you've done a very good job of that. So
I love it.
That's why I wanted to have you in the car. So
nice ride, by the way, I gotta say.
Thanks. So one of the other things I'm doing on this trip is, of course, traveling everywhere. So I always like to ask people, what is your favorite thing about Chicago, or why do you live here?
Oh my gosh, there's so many things. We could talk for about an hour on my favorite things about Chicago. But I'd have to say we're on one of them. I mean, I love Lake Michigan. I love big cities, and I love water. And it's just such a great mixture here that just excites me. The energy of the city and the water, it just... the winters, of course, are not my favorite part of the year, but I always reframe it. It's like, that's why we appreciate the summers even more, because we have that contrast to live through. But it really is the water. The people are friendly. I mean, it's just a great place to live.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely one of my favorite places I've ever lived.
I remember having a cabbie one time said, if the weather was good all year long, there'd be 30 million people living here.
Oh,
and I'm like, yep, you're probably right.
At least.
Yeah.
So, Carol, what's a little fun fact about you?
A fun fact about me. There's several. One, I would have to say, I used to race sailboats.
Oh.
So I love doing that. And through that, I've been able to kind of marry my two favorite passions, sailing and helping others. I'm involved in an organization now called the Judd Goldman Adaptive Sailing Program. And we take out handicapped people and teach them how to sail. So there's people in wheelchairs, and we put them on the boat, and they can... For the first time, they're actually able to steer, their life through that, and not the wheelchair. So it's a lot of fun to see that too.
Wow, that is cool. Interesting. Yeah, that must be. That must really open up their eyes to like other things too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great organization. It's actually in Burnham Harbor, so.
Oh, which is not far.
Yeah, it's not too far.
Yeah, good. All right, well, we are keeping these fairly short, so let's get to the final question, and that's so networking. Who are the type of people that you can help, and is there anyone that you might need help from at this particular time?
Sure. I think as far as the people that I can help is anybody who is open to seeing possibilities. Again, I don't even remotely want to be that positivity thumper that you have to be happy. I think part of my job is actually let people know when you're positive, challenges still occur. You just face them and see the good in it. And one of the things I say is positivity heightens celebrations and lessens sorrows. So anybody who is really wanting to add some possibilities into their life and see the opportunities ahead rather than focusing on what's not working. So that would be that. And as far as people who can help me, I'm a big proponent of, besides positivity, is promoting kindness. And so if anybody is in believing in the work I do, it's just to help support Positive Focus, share it on Facebook, join me on Facebook, and start focusing in their own personal lives on kindness. You know, it's so easy for us to bully the bully, but when we're
Right.
kind,
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in not right and wrong, rather choices and consequences to those choices. So
I love it.
that's
I
my
love it.
stick.
There you go. Well, thanks so much for spending a few minutes. And,
You are welcome. Thanks for the ride.
Yeah, absolutely.